What is happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of the F1 2022 My Team series here on the channel. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go and check out the playlist on the channel and get yourself up to date with the series so far. It's been quite a chaotic season, I want to say. A lot of DNFs across the board, and if you haven't seen last episode, well, there you go. There was another DNF last episode. Kevin Magnussen sent us to the Shadow Realm, but we are back looking for revenge here in this Grand Prix in America, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. We still have the worst car on the grid. We had to adapt some of our upgrades as well for next season, which cost a lot of resource points, so that took away from upgrading the car for next season. So getting into qualifying, and before we get into this qualifying session, I just want to say, if you've been around for a while, you'll know I've made this mistake a lot of times last game and last year, but I've not made it once this season, luckily. But finally it caught up to us, yeah? Into qualifying, just after practice. And for practice, we run a different engine. We run a worn engine, so we're not putting wear into our race engine and putting wear into the components. So just messing around with the setup there, making the setups all good for when we go out to do our lap here in America. So we come out to the pits. I accidentally clicked drive out instead of doing a flying lap. I never drive out, which means we've got to heat the tyres up ourselves. But it is what it is. So everyone's going to start prepping the car to go out, take off the tyre blankets, move away the screen on the front, and then we're going to pull out to the garage. And as soon as we do, let's wait for the mechanic to give us the all clear. As soon as we do, in the bottom right, you can see that orange marker showing, oh no, we've got the wrong engine in. And now, of course, it's park fairway conditions. Any changes we make to the car will result in a grid penalty. So we tried to change two of the engine components, which will give us enough time to set a lap. I didn't realise, obviously, changing them still means you're starting the back of the grid. So we're going to go ahead and change two components, fast forward the time. Hopefully they get changed before the end, and then we can set a lap at least to get a representative time on the board. But as the timer runs down, those components have now been replaced, and we do have the components. We go to do a lap, and it says there's not enough time for a flying lap, which means we've got to drive out, and we just wouldn't make the line to do another lap. So we're going to have to sacrifice this qualifying session, just put the race engine back into the car. Very stupid move from me, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but obviously reading the things there, any changes to the car after going out to the pits, you're in park fairway conditions, which means a grid penalty, and you'll start from the back. So it is what it is. I'm a fool. Lando Norris up in P2 there. He got pole position in the Japanese Grand Prix and won it last time out. Dan Ticktum in P16 out. Our teammate getting through to Q2 for the first time. That's showing that there might have been some pace in this car. We could have had a good qualifying session, but I bottled it. Let's get to the race, see if we can redeem ourselves.
United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Räikkönen delighted the world by taking the top step of the podium for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us here today? We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles per hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the two DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, and Fernando Alonso. Magnussen, Norris, they've taken a grid penalty. Vettel and Esteban Ocon. Russell, Stroll, Guan Yu Zhou, and Hamilton. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ticktum, Tsunoda, Nicholas Latifi, they've taken a grid penalty, and Mick Schumacher. Gasly, Albon, Verstappen, and the owner driver. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And with me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Let's talk briefly about...
So pretty much the whole grid there, taking grid penalties, or the whole back of the grid, I should say, taking grid penalties. We go ahead and skip Natalie Pinkham. I won't lie, I recorded this race straight off the back of the USA Grand Prix, and I was just so annoyed about what happened with Magnussen. If you haven't seen that, go and check out the last race. So we just completely skipped the intro. I decided to put Formation Lap on. One of my mates told me I should give Formation Lap a try, so shout out Potter. We did actually put Formation Lap on for this race, and as you can see in the bottom right, we start with the soft tyres, going with the two-stop strategy. I think we've got nothing to lose, all to play for, so let's go ahead and try a different strategy, put the softs on. You can see the temperature, obviously the tyres are freezing cold to start the races, and normally I found out, like, when you don't do a formation lap and just go straight to the grid, your tyres are just freezing. I thought they like automatically warm them up for you, and it did like a simulated formation lap almost, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it turns out that they don't. We accidentally overtake Max Verstappen as well on a formation lap, which we're not meant to do, obviously. With it being a formation lap, you're supposed to stay in formation. And Verstappen, I completely stop on track and he doesn't want to overtake us. What is it with cars on this game and not wanting to overtake you when you let them in practice, qualifying, now doing a formation lap? Why has he not just gone past us? Because we're not supposed to be here, bro. We're on the wrong side of the world right now. We're in P21 when we should be in P22. So just warming the tyres up, and that is what we use the formation lap for. So hopefully if we can get these softs into a good window. It looks like everyone else pretty much starting on the mediums, going with a one-stop probably, with the medium hard strategy. So maybe the strategy will backfire, and here we stop completely dead on track to let Verstappen past. Yeah, hopefully maybe if the strategy can work in our favour. You know, we've had a few bad strategy calls this year so far, but going with the soft tyres to start the race, the deg is going to be high. I know it will, but hopefully it gives us that edge at the start of the race to even just get up a few places. If we can get to that top half of the pack somehow, even before we come into the pits, I don't mind it. And yeah, I've never done a formation lap before or seen one happen, so I don't know how it works. And it was saying about reforming the grid position, and then you've got to follow the arrow. I didn't actually know where our grid marker was, our grid box, so I got confused. I see where Verstappen stops, so then I stop here thinking that's our spot, and it's not, it's the one in front. So then I have to drive into it, and then it stops me here. I wasn't even in the grid spot. You can see how far away I actually am from the front of it, so I don't know if I've messed up there, but here we go. 5 red lights in America, and it is still not lights out. That's long, it's a lights out, and away we go. That was a long pause, building up the suspense there, but it's lights out and away we go. In America, we're off to a slow start, Verstappen flying, but we look to send one down the inside. One of the hazards pushes us to the inside, and we've gone way downtown. There's a bit of contact there with Esteban Ocon through turn 1. We're hooking tyres through there. That actually gave us great rotation, and we can go around the outside here of George Russell in the Mercedes. Look at the pace and grip that we have on these soft tyres compared to the Mercedes there. Just throwing our car through the SS section, lucky to actually stay on track there, but we feel like we've got so much grip on these soft tyres, and we're actually up into P10 already. We've made up 12 places from the start, just sending a dive bomb up the inside into turn 1, lucky not to take any damage with that collision with Ocon. I wonder if Ocon took any damage to the side pod there. Unfortunate for him if he did, but then we get into a heavy braking zone for this hairpin left down onto the straight. We have to take evasive action as to not go into the side of Sebastian Vettel, but look at the grip around the outside, even doing that move, going off the track and getting the car rotated. We still have so much grip compared to Vettel, but look at the straight line speed from Vettel right now. He's probably using a lot of battery charge to send one back into a downhill braking zone at the end of the straight. We have to take more evasive action to avoid Lando Norris. We go around the outside, and Vettel goes around the inside of Lando Norris. That's a double overtake for Lando Norris there, and we go up the inside here of Sebastian Vettel, and just look at the grip on these soft tyres. That's a fantastic move to go up the inside of Vettel there, and coming around this very tricky corner. Very easy to lose the back end through there, but the back end is completely planted through there, and as we turn in, the back end's gone out, and we have spun on this very quick left, and there's a massive crash. There's a massive crash, and we are going to be out of this race, and there's so many cars coming up now. What have we just caused? What have we just caused? Coming through this corner, there was no sense of oversteer. I had no feel that the tyres were overheating, but as soon as I turned the wheel to go into that next corner, the back end was gone. It's a mistake from me, but once it happened, there was nothing I could do to correct it. I thought if the tyres were overheating, I would have felt some oversteer coming through that corner there, but we really didn't. Literally, as soon as I turned the wheel, the back end just went out. There goes Vettel past us. Also, the McLaren goes past us. Lewis Hamilton or George Russell, whoever that was, misses us, but it's Lance Stroll, the first guy to make contact. Stroll out of this race, and then there comes Fernando Alonso, I think that is. Alonso is the one who causes the turn or damage to our car, takes our front wheel off. Dan Ticktum, our teammate, into the back of Alonso then, and there comes the other Mercedes into the back. There's someone into the back of the Mercedes as well. This is George Russell now. Oh, no, that's Hamilton on board. What have we just caused? What have we just caused? That is a huge pile-up here in America. That is a huge crash. We're just getting a replay. We were off to such a good start. Down this straight as well. Here's the double overtake on Lando Norris. Vettel up the inside. And we go around the outside of Norris. He's lost 2 places in one corner. McLaren will not be happy with that. And then up the inside. The grip that we had there. No feeling of overheating in the tyres. It was so weird. And then, like I say, coming through this next corner, there's a dip in the road. Very easy to lose the back end as you get on the power. No sense of overheating the tyres. But as soon as I turn the wheel in, we spin. And then I tried to get down the gears and spin the car back around before anything happened like that. But just look how many cars we actually brought with us there. Look how many cars are involved in that. There's a good, like, 9 cars or something I want to say there. That is absolutely crazy. We were in like P9 or something. We were literally in such a good space, and we've got to retire from this race. That is back-to-back crashes. What a chaotic week of races. Obviously, the upload schedule for this career mode is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Obviously, Wednesday's episode was the Japanese Grand Prix, where we were in a good spot, and Magnussen put us in the wall. And then this race, we were off to a flying start. Strategy might not have played out in our favour, but if there was a late safety car, it might have. And yeah, just... wow, I don't even know what to say. We need to check the standings at the end of the race and see who actually had to retire there, because it looked like some people lost wheels, some people just lost front wings, so they could have carried on and got the front wing replaced. But absolutely crazy, chaotic moment there. We were right on an apex as well, a flat-out right-hander. So yeah, just unfortunate that, you know, all the cars couldn't miss us, because the first 3 got past us fine. Maybe I didn't react quick enough to get the car off the racing line and spun round, but I really didn't have time to react. George Russell was involved in that crash. Oh no, he wasn't. He was the one who got past. We actually finished the race in P16. Lance Stroll, the first man to make contact with us, finishes in P15. And just look at all those DNFs. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. I've gone off it now. I think there was 8 DNFs there or something crazy like that. Sebastian Vettel gets 1 point, finishes in P10. So Aston Martin move up the standings in the constructors. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 DNFs. What have we just caused in that race? That is absolutely crazy. But what is more crazy is the fact that there was 0 warning signs. Maybe I should have had the MFD open to look at the tyre temps at the start, because I know, especially through Sector 1, the tyres overheat a lot. But just absolutely crazy. And to rub salt in the wounds, we get back to the HQ and our ERS engine upgrade has failed. So obviously we had the drag reduction upgrade, which failed before the USA Grand Prix. We're going to go ahead and redo that. We'll get that after Mexico, before Brazil. Then as we move over to the chassis part, we've got a new chassis upgrade come through. Don't have enough money for that weight reduction upgrade. But then we get to the engine components, and yeah, our ERS upgrade, which we've been focusing a lot of points into, has failed. So we redo that. We'll get that after Mexico, but before Brazil. Only 3 races left in this season, and they will all come next week. So the season finale is this time next week. Hopefully, as I've enjoyed season 1, it's been crazy. Hopefully, season 2, there's a lot less DNFs. We normally do as well a pre-season video, so look forward to that. I'll ask us next Friday to leave comments and stuff about new engine, new teammate. Then we do the pre-season video on the Monday, and then the new season will start officially on Wednesday. So yeah, season finale next week. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know the vibes. I'll catch us next time, people. Take it easy.